Alright, what's up guys, welcome back to another Grand Cross video, and today we're going to be talking about the new Gowther, and which one is better. And I'm going to get straight to the point. I do believe the green one is better if they're both 6-6, and we're going to get into that. But so yeah, there you go, that's my opinion. But that doesn't mean the red one's not usable, because they're both, I love it. Actually, no, you know what, I'll say it. It's kind of weird, because they've never done this before, and it's kind of funny because you have to do this, otherwise no one would ever use this green Gowther. So if you look at like other Merlins, other Escanors, any other dupe characters, right? They all share, they never share the same skill. Now, granted, they have the same variation skills, like the, Green Merlin, Mai, and Hellbrim all share the same red skill, which is the tier 1 skill where it dissolves. So they share the exact same, even though it's his name something different. But they never share the exact same skill. You don't see two Merlins with the same skills like this one here, or same perfect cubes. They're all different. So obviously with Red Gowther, this invasion arrow being massively broken, there's no way they could introduce another Gowther without actually having the same skill. And they pretty much did that. They introduced the green Gowther, which has the same skill, literally the exact same thing, but then a different skill 1 and a different passive. Same ultimate, so same stats as well. So literally, it's just literally ultimate and then difference is the unique, and then also the color, and then also the skill 1. So we're going to talk about it. I'm going to show gameplay in the background as well, so if you know, like, pretty much get my point of it across. But yeah, both of them, literally almost identical. It's just very situational whether you should use them or not. If they're both 6-6, maybe you should use the green one, especially depending on the team. But let me show you this team here on PvP. This team here, they're all different races, you know, they're all different races. It's human, king, demon, human, fairy, demon, and then unknown. That's obviously Gowther. Now the cool thing about Gowther is there's only like 2 unknown characters in the game. You can see here, Boom unknown. It's like him and Merlin, so you can kind of play around it. At least for him, you don't have to worry about it. You kind of just worry about the other characters not being the same races. But yeah, that's if it's green Gowther. Now one thing to notice is this: Red Gowther is a coin shop unit, and he's been out since the start of the game. So, and I believe you get a free one if you log in. If you're like a newcomer to the game, you do get a free Gowther on like the 30th day. So getting this guy is actually quite easy, and getting him duped up is quite easy as well, since he's been on a few coin shop banners, I believe, and also he's been in a coin shop a few times on sale, like what I've done here. I bought him every time he's been on sale. So he gets his ultimate quite up. And thing about ungeared PvP, CC matters, and you're going to see I have 113 here, and I'm actually going to lose 1.6 or 1,600 CC for adding the green Gowther in, because well, I'm missing 4 ultimate gauges. I'm missing 4 ultimate levels, and yeah, so if you don't know, every ultimate you increases CC by 400. So in that case, even though ideally this team would be better running the green Gowther, because obviously you do more damage with his passive, he also will do less, or you're also gonna have less CC. So you kind of got to weigh your options. But in ungeared, this ain't the team I'm using, by the way. But in ungeared, you know, you could use this team, and you know, because they're all different races, you can actually bring it, and green Gowther will actually do bits. So let's just talk about what the green Gowther does, because he's quite different to what the red one does, to where it's somewhat better. We'll go on that. So yeah, skill 2, same thing. We don't have to talk about that. Ultimate is the exact same as well. We don't have to talk about that either. But the difference is the unique and the skill 1. So skill 1 is inflicts damage, which I think is actually the same amount of damage, so it's literally the same thing. But instead of attack stability, he actually depletes ultimate gauge at the end of a turn. But it's a debuff, so it can be cleansed. So if they have an ultimate, there's no point of using this, because they're still going to get the ultimate off. But the cool thing is, and it's why I think it's kind of cool, he gets this on a tier 1. Where the red Gowther has to get to a tier 2. So green Gowther has that benefit, right? Where he's always going to get value, at least on the tier 2, at least on the tier 1. And at the start of the match, you know, you can upgrade a Gowther card, you can use this skill, and you kind of don't have to worry about ult rushing. But then this skill here kind of makes this guy a little bit better and more controllable, right? So he increases allies' attack related stats by 7% at the start of turn, if the allies in battle are all from different races. So literally, just don't have the same races. Literally, there's no way around it. Just don't have the same races. Where if you have the red Gowther, you can't control his passive, and if the player plays properly, technically, Gowther doesn't really have a passive, because they're always going to attack him. Every time he doesn't take damage, he increases allied attack. No attack related stats. Attack related stats actually include crit chance, crit damage, and pierce rate, so you can do more damage in general. But yeah, the red one only increases attack, which is 10%, so it's actually going to go a bit higher. and goes up to 50%, where the green one only goes up to 35 attack-related stats. So you kind of go away the options there, which one you think is better. But you got to remember, this one resets upon taking damage. So if it's up to 4 stacks, boom, just attack, it resets. Not too crazy. So ideally, if the player plays good, Red Gowther should never have a passive proc, which just means, well, Red Gowther doesn't have a passive because it's never going to proc. So the green one, at least in that half, is going to control it. But then what about the meta? Because obviously we have Kyo and Lost Vein running around to where they do a lot of damage towards green units. And who is the only usable green unit? I think the only usable green unit is Rugal, right? I mean, Barn now because they're ungeared, but still. Yeah, the only usable green unit is actually Rugal, and that's because his passive is so broken to where he heals up and removes debuffs when he goes below 50 HP. But you're going to see here the green Gowther, why he's actually somewhat good, even though he's green. It's the fact that Gowthers in general, the blue one did just get the buff, they have the crit resistance of 70. So at least when Lost Vein attacks, he's not really going to crit the Gowther, so you can stay alive a bit longer. And yeah, obviously if you have HP defense on him, he's going to stay alive a bit longer. But yeah, that's the big thing, right? Even though he's green, he's still very usable against Lost Vein because, well, the crit resistance is so high. Most of the time he doesn't really crit on his tiff, and it's like his first skill string where he does 3 hits. But even if he does, it's not going to do too much damage because his crit defense is quite high as well. But yeah, overall, this is like kind of like the best thing that saves him from being a green. The fact that he's not really going to get critted. Even Kyo, but don't get me wrong, he is green, so he's going to take a little bit more damage than usual. But that you kind of go away the benefits since he's going to be applying more damage because he's applying the crit damage and all that stuff. But yeah, this guy is definitely a bit better. And yeah, like I said, red one you can pick up in the coin shop, so it's kind of that part. But yeah, I think that wraps up. That's kind of what we talk about. So yeah, I think green Gowther is better, but then in ungeared you may want to use the red one since it's gonna be attack saver liner. Most people right now obviously are doing like certain cheeky teams with Kyo, Rugals and all that stuff, so you can actually attack sable. But still, if they're both 6/6 or the exact same character, it's honestly, it's like the best option here. You can kind of pick and choose. Like literally, I'd say it's 50-50. If you're running to a lot of attack sables, you know, attack characters, definitely run the red Gowther. If you're running to more, you know, ult rushes, run the green one. If you're running two of the same races, like if you're running a pen team, if you're doing 4v4 pen, you can't bring the green Gowther because, well, there's 2 humans, so you have to bring the red one. If you're running, like, you know, Zeldris and, like, Lost Vein, you have to bring the red one. If you're running my usual team, which is this one here, which, is human, demon, unknown, which obviously we don't know about unknowns, so there's not many of them, and then fairy. So yeah, it's perfect for my team. And yeah, as you can see, I do a lot of damage. I provide a lot of damage reduction with Kyo. I also with Pierce as well, so good tanky team, and keeps Gowther alive. But then obviously one big thing is ultimate sable. There's no way for me to actually remove ultimate, so green Gowther comes in clutch by doing that ultimate removal. And then not only that, if I was to bring the red one, he's also not better for me because I don't really need to attack sable. If I get an ult rush team, they can just move Lost Vein's cards and then he's got an ultimate and then boom, he does more damage. To where this one obviously can remove it. And then also as well, he's increasing my damage for my Lost Vein and my Kyo. It's a dirty team. Like, this is like the best option for me. So yeah, it literally just comes down to what you want, what your team is running. If you're running more than 2 people, well then bring red Gowther. If the ungeared, you may want to bring the one whoever has the highest ult level, but bear in mind, Gowther is exclusive. He is going to only be on Halloween banners. He may not return until next year. My prediction, he might be on the next anniversary banners, like festivals, he may be on it. But yeah, that is all for today, guys. Let me know if you think the red or green Gowther is better. I think they're both very similar. Literally, the only thing that changes them is the passive, ideally. And yeah, you can kind of play around it. Green Gowther, obviously, probably the better unit for PVE, because you don't have to worry about getting patience. Also, for guild bosses, green Gowther 100% all the way. And yeah, the red one, you can just pick and choose what you want to use. But yeah, that's going to be all for today, guys. Let me know who you think's the best. And thank you for watching. Peace.